Hey everybody, happy Sunday. You ready, baby?
Sure, I didn't share with anybody yet, but except for me.
Where the Walker runs down to the Carson Valley Plain, there lived a maiden, Darcy Farrow was her name. The daughter of old Dundee, and a fair one was she, the sweetest flower that bloomed o'er the range. Her voice was as sweet as the sugar candy, her touch was as soft as a bed of goose down. Her eyes shone bright like the pretty lights that shine in the night out of Yarrington town. She was courted by young Vandermeer, and quite handsome was he, as I hear. He brought her silver rings and lacy things. He promised her wed before the snows fell that year. But her pony did stumble and she did fall. Her dying touched the hearts of us one and all. Young Vandy in his pain put a bullet through his brain. We buried them together as the snows began to fall. They sing of Darcy Farrow where the Truckee runs through. They sing of her beauty in Virginia City too. For at dusty sundown to her name they drink around, and to young Vandy whose love was true. Where the Walker runs down to the Carson Valley Plain, there lived a maiden, Darcy Farrow was her name. The daughter of old Dundee, and a fair one was she, the sweetest flower that bloomed over the range. That was a song written by Steve Gillette and Thomas Campbell, Darcy Farrow. I used to think that was a John Denver song. I don't know where I got that idea from. But So here's a song that I wrote that's set in the Hudson Valley in the Great North. This is called The Grain in the Whiskey, the Grapes in the Wine. soft-hearted woman with a taste for the bottle. I scorned her and drove her away. Now she just sat there drinking and dreaming of her north country so far away. The first time I saw her by the banks of my river, she looked like an angel so pure. My heart sprouted wings as it struggled beside her, and the oaths of young lovers we swore. By the banks of the river, through the green days of summer, through the orchards and vineyards we'd stray. But at night in the taverns, we drank till we stumbled our own separate ways. As the years pass, it all seems sublime, where the river of myth meets the river of time. Is it all lost as it goes down the line, like the grain in the whiskey, like the grapes in the wine? The land of her fathers, where the white water rushes so cold. But for her there's one river, that's the river of whiskey, that runs through her trembling soul. She works in a tavern by the banks of my river. I once stopped, she still looked so fine, in the face of a farm girl from a now distant century, seems lost in a river of time. Sometimes when I'm lonely, I walk by the river, that old northbound drifter rolls by. My eyes glimpse a bottle that floats on the water. I remember that girl with a sigh. As the years pass, it all seems sublime, where the river of myth meets the river of time. Is it all lost as it goes down the line, like the grain in the whiskey, like the grapes in the wine, like the grain in the whiskey, like the grapes in the wine. Grain in the whiskey, grapes in the rye. By the way, there's one of the best lines in that song is a line that I actually borrowed from a guy named Jimmy Herbst, and that is that he always called the Wall. He had a song about it. He called the Wallkill River the northbound drifter, because it's one of the few streams in North America that flows in a northward direction. I think that's true. I don't know. Oh, I'm still using this guitar. Okay, we're gonna do a song about my life in the black holes that are referred to as America's bars and taverns. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. So hard to take it or when you can't raise a smile. When singing your own songs wears you down just like the miles. We rode along through 7 winters where, through lean times and good, we sang away our cares. And I'm still in these bars, and I'm still on the run, still singing my songs, and I'm still having my fun. Late at night, we would end up in some dive, talking over the good times until the morning light, laughing over the time we got lost out in the snow, how we picked up the beat, found the way to go. And I'm still in these bars, and I'm still on the run, still singing my songs, and I'm still having my fun. You look at me like I've called all of my shots, like you know all my thoughts. Well, you must know a lot, but still I wish we could sing together again, standing side by side, like we were still old friends. And I'm still in these bars, and I'm still on the run, still singing my songs, and I'm still having my fun. And I'm still in these bars, and I'm still on the run, still singing my songs, and I'm still having my fun. And I'm still in these bars, and I'm still on the run, still singing my songs, and I'm still having my fun. Yeah.
Yes, and Michael, thank you. I'm trying out this new Lee Oscar Grandpa Elliott harmonica, and it's working out
And
great.
I love this harmonica. It's also
Sounds really
and
pretty.
Cheryl's ready for this because this is also a big girl harmonica. I'm sorry to say that, but this is
Big girl.
a tall woman harmonica, a giant tall woman harmonica, because it doesn't have any numbers on the back of it. So and as you saw, Cheryl just aced her way through that. So that's
Oh, thank you.
another sign of.
And thanks
Everything.
everybody for thanks everybody for joining us. And if you have joined us and you haven't left a comment, if you do, then we know that you're there. But I do see some of our usual suspects here. So Michael, of course. Hi, Michael, and Mom. Mom, I'm glad you got on. And Lynn Porter's watching. Judy.
Hi, Lynn. Hi,
Good.
Judy.
Judy, I'm glad
Hi,
I
Mom.
reminded you. You might have remembered anyway.
Hi, Michael.
Craig.
Hey, Craig.
Edith.
Hi,
Ehret.
Edith. How are you? All the way from Germany,
That's right.
or all the way to Germany.
And Lynn Porter says she remembers your cat, Darcy Farrow.
All right.
I remember Darcy too.
She was a
Great
sweet calico cat. We were just talking about her the other night.
We were,
When
yeah.
I first got that little kitten, I was living in. I was living in Gardner townhouses, and
That's
I used to
right.
go for
Oh,
walks
yeah.
with a kitten in the hood of my hoodie. It was very sweet.
So drop us a line if you're watching.
So this week's poem is actually what's sometimes referred to as a prose poem, which is to say it's written, by a poet, and I have to this is new to me, so I have to find the name. This is written by Terry Ehret, Ehret. Terry is Terry, and it is a prose poem. I don't know if you can see this, but it looks. Let's see. It looks like prose. See, it looks like four paragraphs.
Can see those paragraphs, yes.
And in every single way, it almost appears to be. There aren't a lot of metaphors and that kind of thing, but you'll see in certain places of it, there's very distinct poetic rhythms going on. This is called "How Fascism Will Come." Michael, I think you're going to love this. This poem is inspired to Miss or Mr. Ehret. By an expression attributed to Sinclair Lewis: when fascism comes to America, it will be wrapped in the flag and carrying a cross. How fascism will come. Terry Ehret. When fascism comes, it will greet us with a smile. It will get down on its knees to pray. It will praise Main Street and Wall Street. It will cheer for the home team. It will clap from the bleachers when the uninsured are left to die on the street. It will rally on the Washington Mall. It will raise monuments to its heroes and weep for them and place bouquets at their stone feet and trace with their fingers the names engraved on the granite wall and go on sending soldiers to die in the mountains of Afghanistan and the deserts of Iraq. It will send doves to pluck out the eyes of its enemies, having no hawks to spare. When fascism comes, it will sit down for tea with the governor of Texas. It will pee in the mosques from California to Tennessee, chanting, "Wake up, America, the enemy is here." It will sing the anthems of corporatization, privatization, demonization, monopolization. It will be interviewed lovingly on talk radio. It will have talking points and a Facebook page and a disdain for big words or hard consonants. It won't bother to read. It will shred all its books. It will lambast the teachers and outlaw the unions. When fascism comes, it will look good. It will have big hair, pressed suits, lapel pins. It will control all the channels. It will ride in on swift boats. It will sit on the Supreme Court. It will rule. It will court us with fear. It will woo us with hope. When fascism comes, it will sell shares of itself on the stock market. It will get rich. Then it will get obscenely rich. Then it will stop paying taxes. It will leave us in the dust. It will kick our ass. It won't have to break a sweat to fool us twice. It will be too big to fail. When fascism comes to America, it will enter on the winds of our silence and indifference and complacency. And on that day, 100,000 poets will gather in bookstores and libraries, bars and cafes, in their houses and apartments, in schools and on street corners. They will gather. In Albania, Bangladesh, Botswana, Bulgaria, Chile, China, Czech Republic, Finland, Guatemala, Hungary, Macedonia, Malawi, Qatar, crying, laughing, screaming. They will wrap the sad music of humanity in bits of word cloth and hang them like prayers on the tree of life. Remarkable.
Pretty powerful.
Following that is kind of a song that really jolted me. It's a John Hyatt song. I've done it a couple times before. And when I first started listening to it, you know, when I was a kid, I loved Thunderbirds, the car Thunderbirds. That's one of the things that attracted me to the song. And when I heard it, by golly, I thought it was just a song about a Thunderbird. Well, slap my face.
Blaze just joined us. Hi, Blaze. Somebody else too. I can't see.
This is also a song about genocide. And think about it when you're driving your car. If you drive across America, how many graves of Native Americans would you drive over? How many graves of murdered slaves would you drive over when you drive your car? That beautiful Thunderbird.
Music.
Oh, what's that? Oh yeah. I don't need too much help on this, just a tiny little bit.
Sherry Schultz is watching too.
Hi, Sherry. Here's the real beginning.
Yeah, that's nice.
My Thunderbird, she's the wave of the future, baby, have you heard? It doesn't get better than a Thunderbird. There's a burial ground beneath the cattle herd. Mr. Henry Ford is building me a Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. On my shoulder, don't say a word. We'll cut across town in my Thunderbird. We're from Pennsylvania, Welsh men of words. My daddy drove a DeSoto, I drive a Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. She's the voice of the future, baby, have you heard? Tomorrow's taking wing in my Thunderbird. Got electric windows, tilt-away wheels, slide across the bucket seat for that sexy leather feel. And my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird, she drives like a dream, baby, rest assured, it doesn't get better than a Thunderbird. Down to the Model T. Well, a lot of men have died so that you could ride with me in my Thunderbird, my Thunderbird. She drives like a dream, baby, have you heard? It doesn't get better than a Thunderbird. My daddy was a salesman, my brother was too. I'd sell everything so I could ride with you, but not my Thunderbird. No, not my Thunderbird. Willie Loman's talking louder, I can't hear a word. I'm driving too fast in my Thunderbird. Yeah, they made him that way. Yeah, they made him that way. Yeah, they made him that way.
Oops.
That's all right.
I'll do better next time.
It happens.
Promise.
Okay, so where are we in this set?
Over the mountain, it looks like.
Over the mountain. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here comes the hard one. Okay. And you think you have trouble.
You say that, huh?
This is an old Lambert song, and one of the things I'm trying to do on this is play my parts and a few of Bob Dylan's parts. So there are a lot of parts there. Are we ready? Don't talk, just play it. Okay. Over mountain and out on the ways, there is my country girl I just found. strong, so strong. Her voice is like a summer breeze that's blowing through my hair. Though I've only heard it once, I hear it everywhere. And I know I'll be hearing it everywhere I go, where I go. Against the driving rain, unless I'm wrong. Well, the sun came out to hear this song, to hear this song. Over the mountains, out on the plains, there is my country girl. I just found out her name is Campbell. 'Cause this melody is coming on so strong, so strong.
Parts in.
Yeah, yeah.
Just like that.
All right, yeah. One of those was missing. So this next song is a very special song for me. I was about 16 years old when I discovered Dave Van Ronk. And has always been a hero of mine. People knew him as the mayor of Bleecker Street, and he was actually a very nice man too. We had the pleasure of doing, Cheryl and I had the pleasure of doing sound for him at one of his later performances in his life, and he's a wonderful man. And one of the greatest folk singers of the '60s. He really introduced so many, suburban kids like myself to blues and folk blues, and boy oh boy, that was a good thing. Anyway, he did an album called Dave Van Ronk Folk Singer, and he did this song Shanty Man. And several years later, I learned about I can't think of what it's called now. It was a folk music project. It was Camp Woodland, I believe it was called, and part of their summer was gathering and researching folk songs from the Catskills. And this song appeared in it. There is a website they have, and this song appears in it. So I've kind of taken Dave Van Ronk's words and the words from folk songs of the Catskills and kind of put them together a little bit and picked what I thought were the best verses and put this together. And it's a song about Irish people, Irish men in particular, who came here in the early 1800s to fell timber. And then float that timber down the Delaware, and how lonely it was for them in the woods, and how much they missed Ireland. So I hope you like it. Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, a shanty man's life is a wearisome one. Some think it free from care. It's the swinging of an axe from morning till night in the forest, wild and dream. In the forest, wild and dream. Transported I am from the old native land to the banks of the Delaware, with the wolves bears and owls and their terrifying growls in the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and free. As soon as the first morning star does appear, it's to the wildwood we go, and we'll swing on the axe from morning till night to lay the forest low, to lay the forest low. Over the rocks, breaks and jams bring employment to all hands. The well-bounded rafts for to steer, and the rivers that we run are to us our only fun. In the forest, wild and free. In the forest, wild and free. Oh, a shantyman's life is a wearisome one. Some think it free from there. It's the swinging of an axe from morning till night. In the forest, wild and free. 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 Shantyman. Okay. You know, it's been so nice playing for you tonight, and boy, this time went fast. We're going to finish up with a song called Wait and See, which is on our album. Is it Heart, Mind, and All? No, it's not. It is on our album From Our Religions Will Be Free.
You can find our albums on our website, dognoseband.com, and if you purchase an album from there, we will match the price and send it off to a local food pantry.
That's right. We just sent a check out for $100 yesterday.
We did.
We did. Yes, we did. And wait and see. Ride on the water, ride on the waves, cool river evenings, Well, thank you so much for turning out to hear us tonight. We'll be back next Sunday.
Comes famous technology. We're so grateful you could make it. Thanks for dropping us a line. Have a great week coming up.
Good night.
Good night.